Hi, good day to you from whatever or wherever in the world you're watching me from. My name is Christiana Debi, and this video is for those people who have had a particular craft skill in mind for the longest time, but have been finding issues in regards to learning that craft skill. Whether you're learning slowly or you're not learning as fast, as well, or as excellently as you would want to learn that particular craft skill. There are three strategies that are tried, tested, and trusted by myself and other crafters around me that would help you to learn any craft skill fast as possible, as quickly as you can imagine. Because many times we get overwhelmed trying to learn a particular skill. You don't know where to start, you don't even know, or you've started, but it's not just the best of yourself that you are seeing in that particular skill, and you're thinking, how can you surmount this pressure? Some people think they are slow learners, some people think that there's just too much to learn that they can get a hang on. But in this video, I'm going to give you three strategies, and these strategies are tried, tested, and trusted. I'm expecting you to come back and share your testimony after watching this. So before I go into the first one, I want to ask a favor from you. Kindly subscribe, please. It would be a honor to have you as a part of the growth of this channel. Thank you. Thank you very much for subscribing. So, very quickly, let's go straight into the three strategies. The first strategy I'm going to be giving, quick disclaimer, there are no formal names for these strategies because, like I said, they are a compendium of my own experiences and the experiences of other people around me. So, forgive me if they don't have fancy names, but trust me, they really work. So, the first thing, without any further ado, is learning by product strategy, right? Learning by product strategy. And what this means is that when you've decided that you want to learn a particular craft skill, look for the simplest project or product in that particular space, and commit yourself to learning a product at a time. So let me give you an example. You want to learn how to crochet, right? Decide that, okay, the simple projects out there are headbands, scrunchies, and what have you. Decide that you are going to first learn how to make a crochet scrunchie, and then you commit to that, right? You commit to learn how to make a crochet scrunchie. After you can make a scrunchie rather, make another one of that exact one you did. Then maybe learn another style of crochet scrunchies. By the time you can make scrunchies very, very effectively, then you can decide to learn how to make maybe headband, and then can move to maybe muffler, and then you start challenging yourself in a level by level aspect, right? So let's take another example. You want to learn how to make beads, right? Beaded works. You can decide that you're going to start with simple necklaces. The issue with many of us is that we just want to start making massive masterpieces from day one, and it doesn't work that way. If you want to learn that craft that you've put your mind into as fast as possible, start from a product. And for example, let's move a bit out of the craft space. Let's apply to say something like fashion designing. You want to learn fashion designing, you are not sure you are getting the hang of the whole system of the skill. You can decide, okay, you want to start learning how to make simple skirts. I don't know, I'm not a fashion designer, I wouldn't know what the simplest projects they are, but you get the idea, right? Just pick a particular product, stick to that product. Okay, so that would be all with the product strategy. The next strategy I'm going to suggest is what I call learn by technique strategy. So you pick a particular technique and commit yourself to learning that technique. Again, I'm going to use crocheting as an example, right? You want to learn how to crochet, you can decide to first start by learning how to make certain stitches. So you can say you want to first learn how to make single crochet, then you learn how to make double crochet, and then you learn how to make starfish designs pattern rather. So just choose a particular technique. Let's assume it's African tie-dye, or let me say Nigerian tie-dye. You can decide to experiment with different there are many kind of different techniques for making tie and dye, so you can just choose one and learn how to make that tying technique. If it is the spoon rolling technique, if you are going into this field, you would understand what I'm saying, the one where you make a hole in the middle and roll the outfit, right? Commit to learning that technique. Now what you are doing is, over time, you are building an archive of techniques for yourself, an archive of experiences for yourself, such that one day you wake up and you see that you can already make a lot of stuff. So applying those techniques to certain products will be the least of your worries by the time you get to that point. So the third strategy I'm going to suggest is learn on the go. I call it learn on the go. And this is really applicable to many people who want to learn a certain craft skill. You've downloaded all the videos that are available on this internet in regards to that skill, but you have not been able to bring yourself to actually um, experiment or starting to learn these things. Now, the danger with with what you are doing is that you have so much input, so much inflow of skills, of videos, of ideas, and because there is no outflow, overwhelm will set in. When overwhelm sets in, you just find yourself not wanting to have anything to do with that particular skill, right? So you want to ensure that even if it is just one video, you commit to that video, whatever the person is doing in that video, make sure that from start to finish, if it will take you a week, if it will take you a month to understand what is going on in that video, commit yourself to learning that process. Because when your eyes are seeing something, your hands are doing it, your brain is automatically able to create a relationship between your hands, your eyes, and that particular thing that is the subject matter of your activity. And that way, you would sleep and wake up one day and see that you now have like an arsenal of different techniques and skills in regards to that craft. These three strategies I mentioned, if you can decide that from tomorrow you want to start applying it, first you've decided on a craft skill, that you want to learn, and then you've decided that okay, which of these techniques are you looking into. So let's assume you want to learn how to bead, and you've decided you want to go with the product strategy, and you look for different simple products to do. Over time, you're challenging yourself to make these products and you can recreate them. Or you decide that okay, you want to learn any other skill, let's say poetry, let's say music, let's say instruments, right? Musical instruments. You want to learn how to play the keyboard, for example, and it's getting overwhelming trying to know how to place your finger on the keys, the minors, and what have you, how to get. Just don't get yourself overwhelmed. If it is a technique that you want to choose, look out for that technique, search everything you can about that technique and learn to recreate that technique. If you want to use the product strategy on something like that, like playing keyboard, for example, it can be songs, right? I remember back in primary school when we were learning to play this recorder, after we got the re mi fa sol la ti do, like where after our teacher ensured that we could locate where it was on the recorder, he gave us a long, like an encyclopedia almost literally, of very simple songs. So the moment we could, it would tell us to take each song at a time. We'll be able to play each song fluently before moving to the next one. And over time, it got to a point where when any new song comes up, automatically in our minds, we're able to convert it to software notes because we've learned the techniques and we've learned the product style. So now we can learn as we are seeing. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say, but what I can assure you is that if you commit yourself to either of these techniques, don't use the three at the same time, please. If you can commit yourself to either of these techniques, trust me, in a month's time, you will come back to this comment section and you will share your testimony and we will be here to rejoice with you. Okay, so one favor you are going to do for me is that in the comment section, you are going to mention that skill, that craft skill that you are interested in learning. It could be anything at all, even if it's writing. It could be anything, whether something that has to do with physical products or digital products or services. And then let me know which of these strategies I mentioned, these three strategies I mentioned, you plan to implement in that skill. And if you are confused on how you can apply either of these strategies I mentioned, you can also mention so that both my humble self and other commenters and commentators around can get involved and give you responses on how you can go about it. So this is the point where I say thank you, big time. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching to this point, and I hope that this helps. No, I know that this helps. I hope you implement it so that this helps you. My name is Christiana Adebiyi once again, and don't stop creating.